SaaS, software as a service. SaaS is one of the most innovative and revolutionary concepts which have revolutionized a lot of sectors across the globe. The classic example is the platform which we are watching this video, YouTube. Everybody is watching everything on YouTube now. So this is the classic example of SaaS, right? Look at how Zoho have revolutionized how small and medium scale businesses work. All around the world, SaaS is revolutionizing a lot of things, and a lot of Indian companies are also taking a pie of that. So in this video, I'm going to discuss 6 things. Number 1 is the advantages of SaaS. Number 2 is the product fundamentals of SaaS. Number 3 is the revenue models which is being used in SaaS businesses. And number 4 is the key metrics to success. And then I'm going to explain some challenges in SaaS, and then we're going to look at some of the successful SaaS companies in India and across the globe. So let's dive straight in. You might be aware of some of the advantages of SaaS, right? So I'm going to just talk about a few of them, which is commonly known, I guess. So number 1 is it's a subscription business. See, the beauty of SaaS is it's a win-win for both the customer and the person who develops a SaaS. So let's take the classic example of Zoho. Zoho is catering to lakhs of SMEs across the world, but they're charging a mere small amount per user or per usage. It depends, right? So look at YouTube. They don't charge a lump sum amount for a yearly charge or a monthly charge. They charge a small fee for a particular service for a particular limit. So that is one of the beauty of SaaS. You don't have to look at a high ticket customer. You can look at a low ticket customer but go for volume because of its scalability. That being the second point. SaaS businesses can be plugged into any industry and any market. Obviously, we need to tweak a bit here and there because we need to customize it according to the sector or the market which we are going to with respect to language, etc. Right? Of course, we need to do that, but it's much easier to take our product into another market than any other product. And the number 3 advantage of SaaS is, see, the entire product is hosted in cloud. You don't need a physical space. You don't need a physical server to run a SaaS company. That's one of the most beautiful and one of the biggest advantages which I feel, and that's why I run a SaaS company and I don't have an office. I don't have a physical server, so we have taken a cloud server and have hosted all our products in a cloud server, and then we are serving to customers around the globe. So these are some of the advantages of SaaS. So now let's get into the second point, which is product fundamentals. So like any other product, we need to find the product market fit for a SaaS tool as well. Because see, if you might find a solution for a problem and you will build a SaaS tool around that solution, right? But it's not necessary that people might want to use a tool for that solution. So you will have to iterate and tweak your solution around people's requirement as well. So that is very important to find the product market fit. So that's why some companies have built MVPs around the solution. They test it in a small TG, and then they test out the product. They test out what's the response from the customers, and then they will tweak. And the important thing is you will have to keep on updating your product. It might be because of the customer requirement, it might be because of statutory compliance, it might be because your product needs updation, right? And another factor about product development is this is a new thing which is very important, which is the UX designs. Because customer journey and customer user friendliness is very important for a SaaS tool. You might find a brilliant solution, but a customer who finds that solution should be able to use that solution in a very user-friendly manner. Otherwise, they're not going to use your product. So UX designs are also a very fundamental thing which we have to take care while designing a product. And now let's discuss about the revenue models in SaaS. See, there are fundamentally 3 pricing models in SaaS. One is pay per usage model. Number 2 is the flat price model. And number 3 is the freemium model, which is kind of a burn strategy where they spend a lot of money in acquiring customers and give the product for free. They might have a strategy in future. They will charge for advertisements, or they will charge a premium for premium services to a certain number of users. So there are different strategies, right? But fundamentally there are only 3 revenue models. So the flat price model is basically you have a product, you have a flat price, you give it to the customer, and that's it. And certain cases they tweak this model and they will come out with 3 prices with the classic. Most of the SaaS tools nowadays does this. So you will have a base price, a standard price. You will have a mid-range price product with more services than the standard one, and then you will have a premium model where it might be, I don't know, like with more services basically. And another model is pay-per-usage model. So classic example is Google Drive. So they charge per usage. So if you can take a 1 TB, you can take a 5 TB, etc. So they charge accordingly. So it's a very they don't have a subscription plan per se. So they charge per usage per month or per year, etc. Right? And number 3 is freemium, which is, as I told you, where companies give their product for free for a certain amount of time to acquire users, and then understand whether the users are happy with the product. They tweak the product, they come out with the final product, they will find the market fit, and then they'll start charging a premium to the customers. And this usually works for any B2C SaaS business, but not a B2B SaaS business, because the moment you give something for free, people don't value it. And I'm not a believer of giving things for free. Now let's discuss some of the key metrics for measuring the success of a SaaS business, right? Number 1 is monthly recurring revenue, MRR, because that is, I think, the fundamental KPI which any business, irrespective of whether it's a SaaS business or anything, any business should measure, which meaning like revenue of a monthly revenue basically. And the beauty of SaaS is, you might be selling on a subscription basis, and then that revenue, your goal is to maintain that monthly recurring revenue, or to make sure that the customer is retained with you for the next few years. So as a founder or as a product lead or product head, your goal should be to make sure your customers stick onto your product, give them the service or the features which they require, and make sure their subscription is lasted for few years or at least few months, right? So that is monthly recurring revenue, which is very important and the bloodline for any business. And number 2 is customer lifetime value. So this is a very, very interesting metric to measure, because if you're in SaaS business or any business, the kind of service you give defines this metric. Because if you look at the monthly revenue you get from a customer, you might not be able to get a bigger picture. So you should always understand when you acquire a customer, make sure you understand what is the lifetime revenue which the customer is going to bring in, right? Whether it's a B2B business, whether it's a B2C business, because measuring the lifetime value of a customer is very important, because your marketing cost, your sales cost, your operation cost, everything depends on this, because you will be able to estimate what kind of money you're going to make on a monthly basis by using this metric. And number 3 is customer acquisition cost. So CAC is one of the most important marketing or sales metric, because this amount is very crucial for any business, right? Not only SaaS. So there's a famous formula which I use. Your CLTV, your customer lifetime value, should be 3 times your CAC. Meaning, so you might be spending $10 on acquiring a customer. Now your customer lifetime value should be at least $30 minimum, bare minimum, because not only it's the $10, right? It's the time and effort you're putting to acquire a customer. So you should have a minimum 3 times CAC as the customer lifetime value to at least measure whether that acquisition is a success or not. And then comes another important metric in metrics to measure, because churn rate. Now, churn rate is basically the number of customers you lose on a monthly basis. In SaaS, if you do a subscription model, you will get a lot of customers on a monthly basis if you get the product and the marketing sales right, and you will definitely lose some customers on a monthly basis, because you might not be able to cater a lot of people with one product, right? Because different people have different requirements. But as a product person, as a founder, your aim is, or your goal is, to come out with a very generic platform but servicing everybody. So I'm not saying you will have to build multiple products for multiple people, because you will end up having a lot of problems, right? But still, you will have to figure out ways. You will have to figure out and play around with your product to come out with one good product to service all your customers, so that your churn rate is very low. Thus, you'll make sure that your monthly recurring revenue remains very high, which is the classic example of a very successful and a very good company. Now let's discuss some of the challenges in SaaS, right? So I've already explained some of the challenges which you will face if you're a SaaS founder or if you're planning to do a SaaS business. One of them is the churn rate, because it's very hard to retain a customer in SaaS business, because sometimes you will not even know why somebody is not paying you, or why somebody have deleted your tool, or why somebody is not using your tool. You will not know. So to understand that, you will have to build systems around the tool, so that you know, okay, when somebody gets out of your tool or somebody is not paying you, you will know that, okay, this is the reason why somebody have just gotten out from your platform, right? So that's why when you delete an app or when you cancel a subscription, they will ask you, why are you getting out? Let us know, right? So this kind of data is very important, and this is one of the biggest challenges in SaaS. And number two is competition, like any other industry. So since SaaS have a lot of advantages, there's a lot of competition as well, because everybody wants to get a pie of the success, right? So there's a lot of success in SaaS, and if you're a small player and if you get the product right, and if you get the customers as well, now suddenly one big player will come and just replicate the entire thing, right? And since they might have deep distribution, they will acquire customers at a much cheaper rate and in a much faster way than you do. So this competition is a very tough thing in SaaS, like any other business, but we can't do anything about it, right? But we can measure a lot of competition with data, and we can overcome smartly with a lot of sales and marketing strategies as well. Another challenge about SaaS is the customer acquisition cost. So if you look at a lot of successful SaaS companies, they would have spent a lot of money, and they would have burned a lot of money in customer acquisition. So that's why you might see a lot of products being free, a lot of products giving a lot of discounts, a lot of products giving a lot of huge referral discounts for referring other people, because customer acquisition is generally expensive for any industry, right? Especially for SaaS. So that is one of the challenges. But if you can get the marketing and sales right, and if you can figure out the branding of your product also, you might be able to taste success in SaaS. Now let's look at some of the super successful SaaS companies from India and around the world. Number one being Zoho, the classic example. You probably would have at least gone through Zoho's website and probably would have even used Zoho, and you would have been using Zoho as well, right? So Zoho is a classic example. They have automated a lot of operational activities for a lot of small and medium-sized businesses. Even now, big-sized companies have also started using Zoho. So I think Zoho is one of the most successful SaaS companies from India. And then another example is Salesforce, which is a CRM, which is a global success. And then we have Shopify, which have revolutionized again the music industry, right? And Zoom, which automated the entire video conferencing for corporates, right? And video conferencing for companies, how companies run their operations, how companies conduct their meetings has been revolutionized by Zoom, especially during the Corona age. So these are some of the SaaS successful companies. I'm sure you know a lot of other SaaS companies as well. Let me know in the comment section if you have used any SaaS tool. I'm sure you would have, but let me know your favorite SaaS tool in the comment section, and hope I will see you in the next video soon. Thank you.